Hello awesome viewers! Every once in a while I am offered an animal or a reptile from a subscriber or a viewer that they no longer can take care of, and I am very flattered that they chose me to be the one that they wanted to adopt their animal. However, I'm unfortunately not able to say yes to all of them because we do have limited space here. However, if it's an animal that I can use in my educational reptile programs, or if it's something that I can potentially use in a future breeding project down the line, then I'll try to see what I can do. And recently I said yes to a hognose snake and a tiger salamander. Now I have no idea what these two animals look like. I haven't gotten any pictures of them, and I purposely have not asked for any pictures because I kind of want to be surprised. But today the hognose snake just came in the mail, and I think next week the tiger salamander will be coming in the mail too. So when he arrives, that'll be part 2 of this video. But in the meantime, let's start with Lumpy, the hognose snake. Alright, let's see what you look like, Lumpy. I've been looking forward to meeting you. I guess Lumpy here is not the best eater, but that's okay. I'm used to hognose snakes that are picky eaters at my place, and I have some tricks up my sleeve. Okay. Oh. Non-venomous, that's good. Okay, so we've got... Oh, the heat pack is still warm. That's great news, actually. It's fall here, so it's a little bit chilly. That's not too bad. It's only like 50, but still. How big is he? Oh, he feels like he's a small adult. Okay, okay. Okay, Lumpy, here's your big moment. Oh, there he is. Can you see him in there? I think you can a little bit. Here, let me pull him up here so you can kind of see him a little bit more. Here's the lump man. Hey, buddy. You are adorable. Hi. Are you you're a little huffy? I know, I'd be confused too if I was just shipped in a box. Come here. Here we go. He actually looks surprisingly good, like really good. For being a picky eater, I was expecting him to be a little bit underweight, and although maybe he can get a little bit more weight on him, I wouldn't label him as skinny. Now, are you a boy? Oh yes, you are definitely a boy. See how long that tail is and how thick it is right here at the base before tapering off? Those are both signs or indications that this is in fact a male, and you are a breeding size male. You seem very well endowed. Lucky man, you. Should we check for mites? I know you're not gonna like it. I'm sorry. It's mandatory. Don't see any there. None around your eyes. Alright, I don't even have to probe you since I know you're a super male, but let's look inside your mouth and make sure that this huffing that I'm hearing isn't from like a respiratory infection or anything. I'm gonna check and make sure there isn't any excess saliva in his mouth, which, that looks good, that looks great. Sorry, bud, I know, I'm sorry. And so that's a really good sign. So I think the little psst noises I'm hearing is either him being huffy because he's a little angry from having been shipped here, which I wouldn't blame him for, or it could just be that he's about to shed, or maybe it's just something that he does normally, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. But of course, that's what quarantine is for, so I'll be keeping an eye on him anyway. You are just adorable, Lumpy. It's great to meet you finally. And you actually are pretty well behaved too. You're not playing dead, you're not hooding up at all. So you are a great looking little hognose snake. Now this one I said yes to because I should be able to use him in programs for educational purposes. It's always nice to have another just normal faced hognose snake, since that's the kind you see, out in the wild. And I like having multiples because then I can give one a break if I have a lot of programs on a certain week, and then I can kind of flip-flop or rotate between all the hognoses that go to the programs themselves, so nobody gets overly stressed out. So with how friendly you are, it wouldn't surprise me if you could be implemented into programs pretty shortly after your quarantine period. So here you go, Mitchell. Lumpy made it safe and sound. He looks great, and I think he's going to fit in quite well with our menagerie. Not to mention, he'll be able to teach thousands of kids about reptiles once he's trained into our programs. Okay, Animal 2 is here, but he has a bit of a story. So when Animal 2, or this tiger salamander, came in the mail, usually when I'm at programs and an animal comes in, Ed opens it up to make sure that it's healthy and it looks good. So then when I come back home, I can open the box and I can record it, and although it's already been open, I still haven't seen it yet, so it is still kind of an unboxing for me. So Ed opened up the box that this salamander was sent in, and he closed it back up afterwards. Everything looked good. and that salamander escaped the box. And by the time I got home, he was gone. So we thought the worst had happened since we could not find him, and we turned the house upside down trying to look for the salamander. And 2 weeks later, after we had already given up hope, I found him in our sump room. I found him just sitting on top of the sump like nothing had ever happened, and somehow he managed to go from this floor down 2 levels into our house to the bottom floor, and he found a water source, so he did not dry out. I am very impressed with this guy. So without further ado, here is Houdini. Here is the little escape artist. He's very quick and very wiggly, which explains why he was able to escape so fast when after he had arrived. And so what we're doing to keep a close eye on him is we actually have him in just a small temporary setup here, and this gives him somewhere to be comfy in while he's in quarantine, and it allows us to have him closer to us rather than upstairs so we can keep a close eye on him to make sure he's okay after being gone for a couple weeks. Honestly though, he seems perfectly fine, and he's a great eater. He's already eating dubia roaches, he's eating earthworms for us, he has a great appetite, and he's small, but I don't think he's skinny necessarily, he's just young. The great thing about the salamander, and the reason why I said I'd take it in, is because Berg, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like he was either captive bred or he was captive raised from a small little tadpole. And the great thing about that is he was not taken from the wild as a breeding adult, basically. He was raised in captivity, and he did not affect the breeding population at all because of that. I like having several salamanders that I can rotate between for my programs, so that when one has a day of programs, it can take a day break at home afterwards while I take a different one out. And this guy will be added to that rotation. With their sensitive skin, I like to make sure the salamanders have plenty of time off between programs. But here you go, Berg. He is doing great. I love little Houdini. He has a cute, very minor pattern on his back. A lot of black in his coloration, which is really neat. And I love his little bug eyes. And actually, I'm going to set up a big 28-quart bin for this guy after I'm done filming today's video. Congratulations, Houdini. You have officially graduated from your quarantine bin. Actually, I'm just going to upgrade him right now. We've got our 28-quart bin here with moss. Oh, you know what? I have to add springtails. I got these springtails at a local reptile show, and anything that has tropical soil I add springtails to nowadays because of how good they are at breaking down molds, funguses, and feces. Now I'm going to just take a scoop. I've been keeping my culture going for a while now. We'll add you over there, and then they can just kind of take over and do the cleaning for me. If you have anything with tropical soil like this, I would highly recommend springtails. If you don't have reptile shows near you though, I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy springtails off of Amazon. Houdini, are you ready? Oh, come here. You're so wiggly. Look, it's your new home. It's like a mansion for you. My goodness. Where are you gonna go? Oh, I wanted to take a bath. See, the trick for salamanders in making them feel comfy is, since they love to dig underneath things and wedge themselves into small little openings, giving them slate tiles with a small opening underneath or a piece of bark or wood that's just laying flat on the substrate is really what they enjoy the most. Dude, look. You can go underneath. There you go. Hold up. I know I said that there were 2 animals that we decided to take in from fans, but one more panned out, and this one I am uber excited for. In here is a species of snake that we've been very curious about and wanting to work with, but we just never kind of came across the right individual to take on as part of our family. Inside of this box is an axanthic black-tailed Creebow. And Creebows are big colubrids, they are big eaters, and they are full of personality. So I am very, very excited to meet Loki the Creebow inside of here. First off, I love the notes she put on this box. These are adorable. He's part of our family. He actually got here pretty early, all things considered, so I'm hopeful that he's all right. I'm sure he'll be fine. The only problem is it's kind of colder this time of year. So, the tough part is this snake came from a warmer state down south, and he's coming up north to us in the Minnesota-Wisconsin area where it's cold. So you don't really want to put a heat pack in there because he might get too hot before he leaves his state, and you don't want to put a cold pack in there because he might get too cold once he arrives here. So we're all a little bit nervous as old owners and myself. Oh, nice. Oh my goodness, you are just right there, aren't you? Ha! Look at that. Hi, buddy. You all right? Yeah, you're a little cold, aren't you? Yeah, you're actually pretty cold. But you know what? He looks great. He's slow moving because he's chilly. But again, it would have been hard to add a heat pack because it was near 100 degrees where he came from. But yet it's like 30, mid-30s here, so the insulation is the best thing you can do. But man, is he beautiful. Look at the design on his face, and man, I actually didn't know they had these beautiful speckles on their throat. And he is a breeding size adult male, but he might still have some growing to do. But wow, buddy. Loki, you are beautiful. You actually kind of remind me of like a false water cobra in these, with these large scales on your head. Oh, neat. Look at that mottled pattern on his belly. That's really cool too. So this is called the Blacktailed Creebow because it has a pretty dark tail towards the end of its body here. And look how handleable he is right out of the box. This could either be because he's very friendly, it could also be because he's a little bit on the cooler side and he just needs a little bit of warming up. Now if you have a snake that you get in the mail that is a little chilly like this one is, do not put it under a heat lamp or on a heat mat. That can cause the snake to go into shock by heating up too quickly. Instead, what you want to do is just let them sit at room temperature and let them match room temperature first, and then you can start warming them up to warmer temps, like what their enclosure will be. Just look at this amazing transition from that brown olive color to the tail, how it just transitions to black. Now, I am not terribly familiar with exanthic Creebows, but I was told that he is an exanthic mutation, and if that is the case, I'll kind of look into it, make sure he is. But if that's the case, then we are going to be on the market for a female exanthic black-tailed Creebow so that we can produce exanthics in the future. Maybe we'll even find a breeding size adult female so that we can produce them next year, but if not, we're okay with raising up a baby too, and we'll just hang on to Loki in the meantime. You are amazing, dude. Wow. I don't see anything wrong with him. He looks to be in fantastic condition. Kristen, thank you so much for this snake. He'll be an amazing snake for us to breed in the future, and I'll be able to teach people about Creebows now. They're a nice, hardy species of snake that gets to a decent size without being too large, and it's something you just don't see very often. This is the bit I'm going to let him kind of warm up in. I'm not going to put him back in the box he was shipped in since that is still cold, and I do want him to warm up. We're going to set you in here. I've been told he should be hungry, so I'll probably try feeding him in the next few days. Unfortunately, I won't be able to film feeding him since YouTube doesn't like me posting eating videos or snake eating videos. So I'll just feed him here, but like I said, they have huge appetites, so I'm sure he will eat. Instead of ending with Loki the Creebow, I'm just going to let him relax in his bin since he literally just arrived. And Houdini the salamander is a little too wiggly for me to end with, so we're going to end with Lumpy the hognose snake. We've actually had Lumpy for a little over a month now, and he's doing great. Still a picky eater, but that's okay. He's in really good body condition, so I'm not worried about him. We'll be able to work with him and get him eating regularly again. Thank you, Mitchell, for Lumpy, the hognose snake. Thank you, Berg, for Houdini, the salamander. And thank you, Kristen, for Loki, the black-tailed Creebow. They're all amazing animals, and I'm so excited to incorporate these two native species to our area, to our programs. So that means Lumpy and Houdini will both be teaching thousands of kids every year about reptiles and amphibians. And Loki, the Creebow, will be an amazing addition. I can't wait to start working with Creebows, with him specifically, and then with a female down the line once we come across one that will be compatible with him. I can't wait to see how big of an appetite they truly have. So thank you, all three of you, for these wonderful gifts, these wonderful animals, and I'm so glad that it worked out for me to take them in and give them a new home. I do apologize for all the other people out there who have offered us animals. We unfortunately can't take in them all since we only have limited space and resources, so we can only take in the ones that we truly do have a purpose for or will have a purpose for, whether it be to use in programs to teach people about them or to raise up for breeding so that we can offer captive bred specimens to reduce the amount of wild-caught individuals taken from the natural environment. That has always been our goal when it comes to breeding reptiles, to preserve and protect the populations in the wild.
Thank you again. Also, thank you for those who are watching this video, watching this unboxing video. Let me know which of the 3 is your favorite in the comments below, and we'll see you next week.